Trucking is a vital industry all around the world. In fact, over 90% of Canadian consumer products are shipped by truck. However, Canada's harsh winter road conditions make driving, especially for commercial truck drivers carrying heavy loads, a difficult and potentially treacherous activity, and even more so in mountainous terrain. Additionally, internal combustion vehicles are one of the largest contributors to greenhouse gas emissions in our atmosphere, harming wildlife and our environment as a whole. Here at Sea Hauling, we feel passionately about these issues, and, for the sake of the betterment of society, strive to find a solution.
In order for us to design a vehicle that could carry as much weight as possible up a slippery slope, there's a few things we needed to consider. We had to figure out how to combine traction, torque, and structural strength all in one safe, visually appealing, and low-emission vehicle. In addition, we just had 3 AAA batteries to power our vehicle, maximum dimensions of 40 by 20 by 15 centimeters, and a $25 spending budget.
After extensive research, we found out there were a few ways we could go about overcoming these limitations. We decided that our biggest concerns would be 1. Creating enough force to scale the incline, and 2. Having enough grip so that our tires wouldn't slip. Regarding our first concern, we determined that we would need to reduce the output speed of the motor by gearing it down. This would increase the output torque, which in return would allow us to carry more weight. Second, we had to have lots of tire grip. In addition to the obvious things like applying sticky material to our wheels, we discovered that the positioning of our weights made a huge difference in traction. In particular, for a rear-wheel drive vehicle, having our weights concentrated over the rear axle would drastically reduce tire slipping while traveling uphill. Now all that we had to do was to put all of these ideas together.
Initially, we considered having 2 motors to supply us with additional power and 4-wheel drive. However, given Sea Hauling's commitment to carbon neutrality, this was certainly not an option. We thought of accomplishing our 4-wheel drive by installing our motor sideways, using a differential gearbox. However, the complexity of manufacturing this proved too challenging, even for our team of professionals. We considered a design utilizing tracks instead of tires for maximum traction, which also proved too difficult. Ultimately, we decided that simpler was better, and settled on our final design.
Our final design features rear-wheel drive, steel axles, and dualies for improved weight distribution. We utilized the 5-to-1 gear ratio, reducing our unloaded speed from 150 to 30 RPM for optimal torque, and weights are mounted directly over the rear axle to prevent slipping while traveling uphill. Steel ball bearings minimize friction on the axles. The Baltic birch chassis ensures high structural strength while keeping weight and embodied emissions low, and with an iconic, eye-catching paint scheme, this vehicle looks as good as it performs.
But don't just take our word for it. Why don't we go give it a test?
Within the allotted time, our vehicle can carry 5 pounds up the incline, which is record-breaking. This is a huge feat for our company, a major step in the right direction for the transport industry as a whole, and when the next challenge arises, Sea Hauling will be ready to do it all over again. Because together, we can haul the world to a brighter future, 1 meter at a time.